I'm back. I'm trying this again. If anybody's watching, I'm going to wait and see if you can hear me this time. So let me know if you can hear me or see me. I'm trying to give an update. Today is Sunday, November 13th. And I'm at the casino with my daughter. So if you can hear me, oh good. Thank you, Tracy and Nancy. I'm here at the casino with my daughter, and this is Ayana. Say hi.
Hi.
And we are water protectors, and Ayana wanted to say something to you. You say, water is life.
Water is life.
Say, help us protect our water.
Help us protect our water.
Say, I need water when I get older too. Was that too long to say?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say water is life.
Water is life.
So what we wanted to do today was actually send a message to our president, President Barack Obama, who is still the president of this country until January 20th. And what I was saying earlier was, President Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, this is basically a plea for you to come out here or to make some kind of a decision to help us. And the reason that we're really asking you and your family to help us is because we've done everything over the past 8 years that you've asked us to do. You told us to speak up against injustices. You told us to organize. You told us to get people together, and you built like a lot of hope in all of us, and we're tired. Ayana and I have been out here in Standing Rock since August 15th, and I'm really tired of getting shot at, for one thing, and sprayed in the face. We had a guy shooting a live gun yesterday because they think that it's okay to treat us like that. And we could really use your help right now, and are asking you, please help us. I exercised my right to vote the last few elections, and I voted for you, Mr. President, twice because you really made me believe in you. And right now, I'm just not so sure about what's going on in the world, and we really need some protection, especially with this incoming presidency. Against the Dakota Access Pipeline, and you right now still have the power to help us, and so we're begging you, Michelle, talk to your husband, girls, talk to your dad, and do something, anything to just halt this project, to maybe have a full environmental impact statement, which should have been done in the first place. This whole project was done under Nationwide Permit 12, which is used for projects less than 1 acre in size, like boat ramps and things like that. So all of those permits should be rescinded anyways that were used for this project. And, if we can rescind the permits, I don't really know exactly what can be done other than rescinding the permits and demanding a full environmental impact statement or whatever can be done. Because our very livelihoods, the future, depends on the decisions that are made by people like you. Right now, tomorrow, we hear that there's going to be some kind of a decision made, and I guess this is me hoping that this message gets to you, Mr. Obama, our president. I hope it gets to you, Barack, and that you hear I don't even know the words. It's not even about me or one person. It's about everything that we've been going through as natives in this country. It's about the 18 million people that are downstream. The Missouri River goes through the heartland of this country. It's over 4,000 miles long, and it's already been, has pipes, different things underneath it, which is all the more reason to protect it. My daughter's helping me out here, aren't you, baby? Did you want to say something? You're going to say, please help us.
Please help us.
Protect our water.
Please take our water.
For us and for you.
And for you.
Say, please.
Please.
With the cherry on top.
Cherry on top.
Say, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Please. President.
Say, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, help you hear me.
Say, I'm only 3.
Only 3.
And I need some help.
Need some help.
Protect the water.
Protect the water.
Because water is life.
Water is life.
Minnie Vitoni, she's stronger than I am. She's wiping my tears. She's been so good out here and so helpful, and
Go away, bug.
doesn't even understand what's happening really, but the decisions that are made now by you, the administration, they're going to impact her and all the generations to come for many, many, many years. And so again, this is a message to our president, to Barack Obama, and a message to the First Lady, Michelle Obama. Of all the decisions that you've had to make over the last 8 years, we are begging with you and pleading with you to please help us. Just as we've helped you as citizens of this country to ensure that you were in there for 8 years, please leave a legacy of amazingness that helps us protect the Missouri River and the drinking water for millions of people. Because we're really scared about our future and what's going to happen. We never give up hope. And that's one thing that you asked us to do, is to hope and to never give up that hope. But we really need your help, really bad. This company, Energy Transfer Partners, Dakota Access, they don't care, they don't listen, they don't stop the work. They've already said they're going to drill with or without the permit. They were saying they were confident they were going to get it. We're just really tired out here. Everybody's getting colds, and everybody's been just fighting so hard for like 4 months. We need a ray of hope and some sunshine. And I mean, it is really sunny today. It is really windy today, but it's just, please, if you get this message, if you hear this message, please do what you can, everything in your power to help us. And to help us stand back against this corporation, which is just really evil and full of hate for people that are simply trying to protect the water. I mean, you must have seen everything happening to us out here. You must have seen how they've been painting the picture of us being the bad ones. And I can tell you firsthand, as a person who's been here, it's not us. They have workers that they've hired to do things that make us look negative, and they're hiring people to do bad things. They're hiring people to kill cattle, and to kill buffalo, and to break windows, and to slash tires, and drive around with guns. And I can't even describe to you what it's like to be on the ground out here. It's so hard. In fact, I'm taking Rihanna back to my mom and sisters again, because they started a fire out here that still nobody claimed. 400 acres burned right across from the camp. And it took 6.5 hours before a helicopter finally came and dumped water on that fire. There are so many human rights abuses and injustices happening to us. It would be really amazing, Mr. President, if you could not only make a decision, but potentially even come out here. I mean, I know Bernie Sanders has talked about potentially coming out here. We know that Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to be out here on Tuesday. Oh, we know that Mark Ruffalo is coming back again. And so for everybody else that's listening, you know, today the spirits are pretty high in the camp because it's a sunny day. But everybody's on edge too, because we hear that there's going to be a decision coming. We hear that there's going to be something made, and this is why I'm sending a message to you. please, please help us. You're one of the last people that can. You're like the last hope for the nation, for our babies. I wish I had the words. I wish I had the words to express the sincerity that I'm trying to talk to you through, and I wish I had the strength to say it without crying, and we're worried about the future, and just know that people are relying on you. Brock, I hope you get this message. I hope you get to see it. I hope somebody in your office shows it to you, and that you listen to me and my 3-year-old daughter in some way, even if, it's just in a private way, and that you know that we've always prayed for you and your family, knowing how much you've carried, and you've carried with such dignity and grace these past 8 years, being under all this pressure. And we know that there were decisions that you had to make that, I can't even imagine what it was like to be the president of this country. But now, with what happened with these most recent elections, we're really nervous and we're really scared, and we really, really, really need your help. Help us like we helped you. We rooted for you. We got people to vote for you, especially the Native population. We came out strong in both of these elections. You built a lot of faith and trust in us, and please, and I'm not I'm looking at some of these comments, and some people are like, oh, don't idolize the president. I'm not idolizing the president. I'm just saying you're in a position to be able to help us, and we hope that you use that.
And the bugs can fly.
Ayana found a bug. She found a box elder bug, so she's going to help it fly. Yesterday there was an action, and a person was waving his gun around at women and children. The company still continues to work out here. They still continue to do whatever they want. They have a fortress on the hill with razor wire and an 8-foot trench and a 15-foot wall. So we can't really get up there to protect the water. And right now we know that it comes down to some sort of executive order, some sort of intervention. We know that you're just one person, but you can be influential in some regard. I'm sure of it, that if you could just do what you can, that's all, just do something, do whatever you can, and we would really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to hearing a statement tomorrow and Monday, and bless you and your family. And I'm going to go ahead and sign out here pretty soon, but I want to see if we can have any comments from anybody. If anybody has any questions for me right now about what's happening, I can try to answer your questions. And I'm sorry for these dings. I don't know if you can hear them. Again, I forgot to turn my sound off. But a couple of things that those of you that are watching can do. You can continue to donate at sacredstonecamp.org, at indigenousrising.org, and at ochetishakowingcamp.org. We are still moving forward with the winter camp, with the building of the Earth Lodge construction, the teepees, the tiny houses, the straw bale buildings, south of Cannonball on the 50 acres that was approved by the tribe. And hopefully we'll be building this week before the snow flies in North Dakota, which it should have probably done already, or at the very least it should be colder, but global warming, it's been in the 60s and 70s here in North Dakota in November. People got arrested yesterday. I'm not sure exactly how many. I heard a figure as high as 70. So of course we have all those court fees. So you can continue to donate to the Legal Defense Fund, which you can find on sacredstonecamp.org or on the Facebook page, Sacred Stone Camp. We continue to need wood stoves out here, pellet stoves. We continue to need prayers. Number one thing is prayers. So if anybody wants to come to camp, please try to be self-sufficient. Cool. Because it's been really hard to try and run back and forth to get people from the airport and to find places for people to sleep at night when it's so cold. So we're asking for people to also, if you bank with Wells Fargo or TD Bank or Citibank, divest your money and divest your funds from these banks that are paying for Energy Transfer Partners to continue to exist. Hit them in the pocketbook. I know I did start this by putting a shout out to the president, but that's one of the tools. It's also all these other things that we can do collectively to be able to fight back against this Goliath, this beast that is Energy Transfer Partners. And so help us continue to fight by hitting them in their pocketbook. You can see on our web pages the different people that are funding these projects. And so help us by divesting your money from any of those banks. And also on Tuesday, November 15th is a National Day of Action. Don't hold it too close, baby, okay? Hashtag bank exit.
Mommy.
Are you helping me?
Yeah.
Let me come down here. And so on November 15th, on Tuesday, there's going to be a bunch of people there in DC that are going to be standing up and pushing back against the banks. And we're asking people to go to the Army Corps of Engineers and to disrupt the business as usual, huh? Yeah? They say, please help us.
Please help us.
That would be nice. Making a silly face. And so that's Tuesday, November 15th, Days of Action. Hashtag bank exit. People are reminding me what that is. And so just, from one mom to another mom to Michelle Obama, I know that you guys only have so much influence, but even just a statement, something from you would be really amazing. If you could do that, that would be really great. And if you could help us in any way, that would be great. And everybody else can help us by praying and sending donations. And right now, I don't know that we necessarily need people right at the camp, but we do need people to help pull the money out of where the investors are. You may or may not know that Donald Trump is invested in this pipeline. He has stock in this pipeline. In fact, the day after the elections, their stock was dropping, Energy Transfer Partners. The day after, I think the stock went back up by 11%. And so we have the power. The people have the power. We just have to divest. And we have to take that money out of their control. Because that's what it comes down to. The bottom line is just always about the money. I'm getting all these messages from folks. So we do have the power. The people have the power, but it has to be collective. It has to be collective effort. I just want you to know that we're not giving up, and I got emotional because it's just, I'm tired. It's been a long fight, but it's been really worth it just to be able to stand in solidarity with my brothers and sisters out here at Standing Rock. Again, the reason why I'm not at the camp is because our Wi-Fi is not working there at all. So I'm at the casino just south of the camp. And go to sacredstonecamp.org or Sacred Stone Camp on the Facebook page, Indigenous Environmental Network, Indigenous Rising Media, OchetishaKoeCamp.org, stand in solidarity with us on Tuesday, November 15th, as we disrupt business as usual across the country and everybody goes to their Army Corps of Engineers offices and divest from their banks, hashtag bank exit. And we need everybody though, everybody across the country, everybody that's watching, share this with your relatives, share this with your friends, and ask people to join us in the struggle, because we do have the power as individual people when we come together. It's like that movie, have you guys ever seen, is it A Bug's Life? One of those cartoons where, or maybe it was ants. All the ants got together and there was a whole bunch of ants and they were like, well, what can we do against the grasshoppers? The grasshoppers are bullies, you know? And the ants were like, it just took one ant and he said, organize. And he said, if we stand together, we can win. And so all the ants decided to come together and they beat the grasshoppers and they won. And it's like that, it really is. You know, if we can model ourselves after, you know, the ants that are, you know, just individually, they seem just harmless, but together they're very powerful. And I guess I'm going to end with a fitting quote, since we're here in Standing Rock, from a really great leader, a great chief, Sitting Bull. And Sitting Bull did say, Ma Detiko, a long time ago, as individual fingers, we can be easily broken. But together, we make a mighty fist. So we can't forget that. Together, we can succeed. And I believe it. And I haven't given up hope. Please continue to send your prayers. And thank you for listening. Hopefully you can share. And once we get more Wi-Fi connection, I'll try to come back to you again from the camp, because it has grown significantly. We are still blocked from the north on 1806. It's like there's barricades and there's police officers and there's the Army National Guard are still blocking us in, spending taxpayers' dollars to stand out there 24/7 to stop us from getting on 1806. So far, this state has invested $10 million into fighting back against unarmed water protectors. If you're in any of those states where police officers are here, you can sign petitions to ask your officers to go home and to fight in their own states against real criminals and not against water protectors. And just know that we are unarmed and we do remain in prayer. And we just need you all to help us against people that don't know what they're doing, like the Morton County Sheriff's Department. Kyle Kirschmeyer I don't know how he sleeps at night, but he needs to have a good long talking to about some of the policies that he let pass. Why are they working with GS4 and Tiger Swan securities that are like tier 1, level 1, highly trained military personnel straight out of Afghanistan and Iraq? And if people don't know what I'm talking about, look at Unicorn Riot and look at some of the videos for the coverage they've been doing. Look at what happened to us on Thursday, October 27th when we were attacked. Some of the police that were out there, I want to say thank you to the ones that listened to me. Here you go. That actually put down their batons when I talked about my grandfather being a World War II vet and how he was, he had 2 Purple Hearts. When he was 18, he landed in Normandy on the beaches. That day he was there and he carried that around for the rest of his life. He had numerous medals. And you know what? My grandpa did not fight for this country to allow his grandchildren to be harmed in this day and age or attacked by a country that's supposed to be protecting their own citizens. You know, we're citizens of this country. We shouldn't be the ones that are under attack. But there were police officers that day that cried with me. There was 2, maybe 3 that wiped the tears from their eyes, and 3 that put their batons down. So I want to thank those police officers for showing their humanity. And listening to me that day when I talked about my grandfather and talked about the Bakken oil fields, where this oil is coming from my community. The Bakken shale oil fields is where they're fracking and where they're taking this oil out of the ground to put it through a pipeline. We fought back against semi-trucks, we fought back against railroad transfer, and we're fighting back against pipeline transfer. And what we're saying overall is to keep it in the ground, keep the fossil fuels in the ground, divest from the fossil fuel industry and invest in the renewable energy economy of the future. Start subsidizing wind, start subsidizing solar, and stop putting subsidies into the oil and gas industry. There is a better way forward. When I pulled up to the action yesterday, I had a walkie-talkie radio in my hand, and I could hear the workers, and they were saying, oh, here they come. Look at all those gas-guzzling vehicles. You know, there's this whole mentality that it's supply and demand. And the thing about it is that this country, by and large, the people here are demanding choices, are demanding alternatives, and we're not being listened to. Where are all of the plug-in electric hybrid vehicles that are affordable? The technology exists. You know, I'm doing the best I can as a person that just grew up on the reservation in North Dakota, and I bought a hybrid vehicle, and it costed a lot for us, for our family, but we did it because we're trying the best we can. We ride our bikes at home when we can. You know, we're trying to put up, we do community gardens, and it's not like we're not trying. We need more help. We need to have options and choices as citizens of this country. Here in North Dakota, there's no bike lanes, you know. Just about dropped my phone. You know, you could go to California or Amsterdam. I was in Copenhagen in 2009 for the climate negotiations, the United Nations climate negotiations, and man, I almost got ran over by the bikes out there because they have huge bike lanes, and we would walk out into the street looking for cars, but we wouldn't look for bikes. And we'd be like, ring, ring, and we'd be like, oh, there's all these bikes coming. But it was a beautiful thing to see that they had that much infrastructure, you know, in these other countries. And it's like, why can't we have that here? Why can't we have more options like that here? I mean, Bismarck just got a bus system like 10 years ago. We didn't even have public transportation before that. It's not that we don't want it. It's that we're not being given the options. It's my sister. My sister was calling me. Sorry, Kim, I'll call you back. And also I want to tell people that this isn't about, you know, taking jobs away. We want people to have jobs. I have brothers, uncles, cousins that have worked in the oil industry, especially in the Bakken Formation at home. And it was like, well, we could work at the casino for, you know, $10 an hour, or we can start out roughnecking for $25 an hour. So for everybody, it came down to money, really, to put food on the table and to pay for healthcare costs. And so we've had a lot of really good labor and union workers that have come out to stand with us, and they've been saying there's no jobs on a dead planet. And we really appreciate them for understanding that and standing up for us, because it's not an us against them situation. It's a humanity with humanity situation, regardless of who we are, the color of our skin, our age, our sexual orientation. It's about all of us coming together and moving forward on this planet in a healthy way, and reconfirming that connection with the sacred that every single human being has, whether they like it or not. We are made up of all of the elements that the earth is made up of. We're all made up of water predominantly, and so it's an understanding that as Native people, me as a Mandan Hidatsa Rikara woman, I was always told and just always knew that we had a connection with the sacred. That's just the way it is. We're not above the system, we're a part of it. We're a part of Earth's system. And so we have to understand that if we poison the water, we poison ourselves. You know, this is something we've been saying for over 500 years. Capitalism, it doesn't work. It's not sustainable. And so we need to decolonize our minds in order to decolonize our bodies, in order to be healthy and happy humans once again. It's really hard to do when you can get in your car and drive to work and go in your office building and then get back in your car and drive back to your house, and you have heating and air conditioning. You hardly ever have to be outside. So people kind of forget that connection, but just reaffirm that connection with the sacred as an individual and do whatever you can. And don't let people tell you bad things like it's not good enough. just try to grow a garden if you can. That's what Ayana and I have been trying to do every year, is grow a garden. And if you're in the city, put a tomato plant in the windowsill, cherry tomatoes. Try it out. If you kill the plant the first year, try it again the next year. If you feel like you don't have a green thumb, get some spider plants. They're really resilient. You just need sunlight and water. And if you kill them, buy some more until you start learning how to make them stay alive. Think about if you turned on your tap and no water came out, would you know where to get it? Think about if you went to a grocery store and there was no food on the shelves, would you know where to get food? Just try it, try to think of some of those things as an individual as well. And then, then the system will change. Recycle if you can. Everybody should be able to. Recycle what you can. Do all these little things. Change your light bulbs. Do whatever you think you can do. Take those baby steps. And my mom is not a green thumb. My mom, but I'm not giving up on my mom. I'm like, Mom, you can do this. So she's had a plant in her living room window now for about a year, and that thing is still alive. So I'm so proud of her. Sometimes it starts within your own family, and I know I've had to talk to my uncles and brothers and cousins, and they're like, oh, we love you, we know, we love what you do. You're like the one in the family that is the environmental person, but they're the ones who tell me how crazy it is in the industry. They're the ones who tell me from the inside how bad it is. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The lack of regulation. Excuse me again. I'm getting a cold. And like how dangerous the job is. And so I know firsthand from my own experience. And they tell me, well, I'm sorry that I work this job, but I really need to pay these bills. And so that's why we're building a community out here in Standing Rock and trying to show what just transition means. And just transition means to phase out the current fossil fuel infrastructure and then to build different economies based on the sun that shines on our face every day and the wind that blows across our cheeks every day, these gifts that are given to us every day. And so we're trying, right, baby?
No, my shoe.
Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
No, my shoe.
Oh no, her shoe came off.
There it is.
She said, there it is. I better go. You ready to say bye?
Yeah.
Okay. Say it into this one right here. Say bye.
Bye.
Say we love you.
I love you.
Say pray for us.
Pray for us.
Please.
Please.
Water is life.
What is why?
No more pipelines.
No more pipelines.
I'm gonna go. She's taking off her shoes and her jacket and her clothes, but thank you everybody for listening. I started ranting again at the end. I know I did that, but President Obama, if you're listening,
My shoe.
do something, do what you can to help us out, and put that in combination with the prayers that we're getting, and we can achieve really great things collectively. And Michelle, if Obama can't come out here, maybe you can consider coming out and saying hi to us and helping us with our garden. I know you're really into food sovereignty and to healthy foods, and we're going to build a garden out in our new community, so maybe you can come help during the groundbreaking. It won't be until the spring, and so we'll be in a transition then, but it would be really cool if you could still come and help us with our community garden and our healthy foods initiative. So you can find me at the Indigenous Environmental Network. My name is Kandi Mossett. My earned name is Eagle Woman, and I'm going to say Matse Gerads. Thank you, everybody. Peace.